All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. We have got Graham Hawthorne on the podcast tonight, covering what he's probably being most talked about for right now, which is his 152 plus light hammer. A couple weeks ago at the Loch Norman Highland Games, I got to throw with Graham at Central Carolina this past weekend, and we had a great time. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about smoking meats and his post training and what is in store for his 2026 season, and will he or won't he be chasing the light hammer world record. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about all that stuff and a little more. Also, if you haven't done so, check out our sponsor, The Kilted Patriot. You can check them out at kiltedpatriot.com. I have gotten to see some of the new stuff that they are putting out and that either is currently available or will be available soon. And it's pretty great. Some really cool, not merchandise, but swag and apparel and just useful items that we can all use day to day. I've got one of their new fanny packs. I'm really excited for that. Some of the t-shirts, headbands, things like that are really great. And I got a chance to chat with Tim and Dave this past weekend at Central. And there's some more cool big things coming on the horizon. So go check them out. Go check out the Woodridge Farm Celtic Festival. That is live on Heavy Athlete, as well as the Battlefield Country Store anniversary games. We're going back to the Battlefield Country Store. You can check both of those out on Heavy Athlete, sign up for them, and we will see you there. Battlefield is in July, and Woodridge is in September. So enjoy the episode. Get home in one piece. Are you happy?
Yes.
Okay, good. That made the podcast. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
This is a great start. I didn't tell her goodbye the right way. So,
You gotta say it right.
yeah, my bad. Look at you with your massive backpack.
Leave me alone.
All right. So I think the main thing everyone wants to talk about is the redonkulous hammer, but we can take time and build to that. So what I was thinking was more of, let's kind of start this off as just a 2026 preamble. You know, what are the plans from Graham Hawthorne, currently ranked, last I looked, third of pros? I could be wrong. If only there was a website. Let me look. When's the last time you looked? What were you ranked?
I looked yesterday and I was ranked first.
Oh, okay, then yeah. So right now, at this exact moment, they have, because they put in one of Jason Richards wrong. They put him in as having a 740-foot lightweight. He does not.
Yeah, that's probably,
That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did he put us all in as pros for that game? Because that's not.
I don't know. I was listed as an amateur first, but
okay. He might have had some stuff crossed because someone sent me a message in some way that said, "Oh, did you turn pro?" And I was like, "No, I did not." So glad we had that talk. Did you see my heavyweight? No, I did not turn pro. But
well, 2026 started early. Did the off-season games in Florida, Central Florida, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But very much like a limbo games. Not last season, not really this season.
Had a decent showing though, from what I'm seeing. Because I mean,
yeah, no, I was really happy with how it performed overall. Came out and
the heavy hammer was trash, but outside of that, you know.
Yeah. So good numbers. I think I went 40, 50 in the stones for the first time. Which was a big mark for me to hit because how much work I've been putting into the stones last year and over the off season. And then going into last weekend at Loch Norman, I kind of considered my season opener, which went well. I was super happy I got it. John Harding extended the invite to me about 2 weeks beforehand, because of my work schedule changing up, freeing up the early part of my year. So I was happy to go out there, put up some good numbers, got to throw with Eric and Wes, the Blatnick brothers. And yeah, good numbers. Obviously the hammers have just been jumping up almost every competition. Every other competition, I'm hitting something new with the technique, with gaining speed, gaining a little more proficiency. And it was funny, the series I put up with both heavy and light hammer at Loch
Mm-hmm.
Norman were the strangest series you'll ever see. I did heavy hammer. First throw was 98.
Mm-hmm.
Second throw, I think 104, 108, something like that. And then third throw was 120. Or it might have been backwards, 120 and then 114, whatever. And then light hammer was even stranger. It was I went 126, so 6 feet past my heavy hammer, and then 130 something, and then hit the 152.
Yeah.
So
So that wasn't
it's
even on extras. That was one of your in-comp throws?
yes, those were part of my competition 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was awesome. I mean, things have been clicking with the hammers.
Mm-hmm.
Things have been clicking elsewhere. Things have been clicking with the stones. So early season games. Um, a lot of it depends on what kind of field you're on, what kind of stones you get, um, what time of day you're hitting those events. But I'm looking forward to, as the season goes on, finding a groove in kind of each of the events leading up to
Mm-hmm.
the big games in September.
Yeah. So let's talk about stones first, because I feel like we're really just going to kill time until we talk about hammers. I know that's what everyone wants, but I can't do that because it's a 20-minute episode, and that's stupid. So,
Yeah.
for those that don't know, you've started to switch over from being a rotational thrower over to a glider,
Yes.
and you've also been reaching out. I know you worked with Nick some, but you've also worked with what's his nuts, Shot Put Devil, whose name I
David
always
Storrell.
Storrell, yeah.
Yeah.
How has that experience been, talking to several people who operate in the high level shot put world and then
Mhm.
applying that over here? Like,
So
elaborate.
stones, I mean, going back to the glide it was a hard decision at first, but then ended up being an easy decision once I transitioned back into it. Because I was still, on my third year throwing, still super early, still figuring things out. But just in terms of that transition, decided the rotation uh, was entirely too technical, and I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
feeling the things that I needed to feel in the basic sense, where the glide and the Braemar, the stand throw, have enough similarities to where I could spend a lot of time working on Braemar and it would
Mm-hmm.
transfer over to the glide. Um, and
Yeah.
then in terms of talking to the higher level guys, I was working with Ponzio earlier in the off season when I was still kind of playing rotation, and then transitioned to glide, and that was really the last month I worked with him. Even though he's a high level shot putter and a lot of expertise to gain from him, I wanted to either he's a rotational athlete. He's a
Mm-hmm.
rotational, he's a spin. So I felt weird learning glide from a rotational guy.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to reach out to David Storrell. I got a good, what was it, video analysis from him, just like a one-time thing. I know a couple of guys have done that. Kyle Lilly's done that, but it's really good, honestly. He was very comprehensive. Totally worth the money for a one-time video analysis. And he offered a lot of insight into what I'm doing coming out of the back of the trig and
Mm-hmm.
getting into the power position that I need to actually use my legs in the shot
Yeah.
put, because that's just like so much of the problem we have in Highland games is turning things into an upper body throw, is trying to mash it as a Highland games like grunt force athlete,
Mm-hmm.
but it's it's all about getting away from that and getting into like being rhythmic, being explosive, utilizing your lower half.
Yeah. And that makes sense. And like what you're talking about with our Braemar throw being just closer to the glide. Like I wasn't going to point it out on game day at Central because like it wasn't the time. But like your reverse in the Braemar is how your reverse should be looking now that you're back to gliding. Like I know that was
Yeah,
something that was
I know.
bothering you, but I literally watched the video earlier today when you posted, and I was like, that whole just right leg straight down, left leg countered out. I was like, that's exactly what his reverse should have been. Like I found it so weird that it wasn't working when you were moving, but your reverse in the Braemar was a textbook glide reverse.
That's
But
yeah, that's all those reps with the stand throw that
yeah,
are coming out, and the lack of reps with the glide that are becoming, that's where it shows in the reverse, is that I have so many reps uh at this point with the Braemar with the stand throw compared to the glide
hmm
that I've just got a little more proficiency in it. Not
yeah.
much, but one of these
No,
days
I
I'm gonna
understand.
yeah, one of these days I'll figure out how to reverse with the glide, and we'll see
Yeah.
something
Well,
pop.
tell me when you do, because I fouled out the left on a open stone throw. Which who even does that? Just literally, just landed off balance and fell out.
Uh,
When I put it
leaning
on
all the
YouTube,
wrong
everyone's
ways.
going to get to see that. It's going to be great. But um, all right, so there's that, and then you started talking about you started feeling things in the hammer, which again I'm jealous because while I felt this weekend I could add speed to my hammers, I wasn't feeling anything because I just
Hmm.
haven't had reps in. So what is, and this is one of our questions from the masses, as far as what has, let me look at their exact question. Um, let's see.
We don't want to discredit
And
anybody.
yeah. I want to get the wording right because I want people to feel like their questions are actually getting answered. Um, so one of them was how training and practice and the approach has changed. So I think that's really kind of what we could hit on here. Has the
Hmm.
actual approach changed, or has it just been one of those things of you've put in enough reps to feel it? Like, has there been a mentality switch with how you approach the hammer for this season?
Simple answer, no. No change in my mentality. Um,
Mhm.
just a change in the things I'm feeling. So I'll go back to whatever it was the week before Loch Norman. I was feeling good with hammer. Most of my hammer practice in the off season was no blades,
Mhm.
so just straight off the concrete. And all I was working on was just maintaining my technique because I felt like I got to a point right at the end of last year, um, that I was like, I felt really confident in where the technique was, in terms of hitting my high points and low points, and maintaining a consistent orbit. And then going back to like about a week before Loch Norman, I was out practicing, and before I went to practice, I did a little homework, went and watched some McKim videos, and um, then in practice finally found where I'm adding power. So
Okay.
I'd been going through, all of last year throwing trying to figure out how to add speed to the hammer, and I was getting to the point where my technique was improving, but I didn't know how to add speed. I didn't know where speed was being added in my throw. And finally, 3 weeks ago, I figured out where the speed and where the power is being applied. And that jumped me from 140 to 152.
Yeah. So what is that cue, or what is that point that you've been hammering now to make that
So
jump?
what I figured out was, well, laying foundation first. My, which I think will answer a couple other questions
Hmm
from the Instagram posts. What I think about in terms of cues are very simple, in that I think about my high points and low points and my orbit. So The biggest one being low point discipline. The biggest thing is high point up here. Sorry. High point
High point up over your left shoulder.
over your left shoulder, low point out to your right to the 2 o'clock position. So my biggest cue is keeping that low point at that 2 o'clock position, because as soon as the low point starts to drift, you lose power and speed. And going back to your question about where do I add the power, it's over here, over the right shoulder, and pushing out to that 2 o'clock position. It's like biggest thing I got from Dan McKim's videos is him saying that the hammers are not a pull or a yank. The hammers are a push. You're constantly pushing it where you need it to be in the orbit. And by pushing it out to that 2 o'clock position over your right shoulder, you're adding speed without compromising your low point. That make any sense?
No, that makes a ton of sense, because I've always, the two methods of adding speed in the hammer are either to chop down on that right side or to lift up on that left side as you come up. And that's as a right-handed thrower. Obviously, reverse it if you're a left-handed thrower.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'll say to that point, the chopping down, it's, I think what I see in a lot of other athletes is that the chopping down comes in kind of a circular motion for the orbit. And in order to maintain a low point over on your right side, you have to turn it into an elongated orbit.
Yeah. Into an ellipses. Yeah, because you do tend to see a lot of guys almost just make a circle in front of their body and just swing down like that. Like chop almost isn't the right word, but just that right-hand side. I low-key, like Josh shared that little clip that he made with No Fame of that guy and his little paddle and the yoga ball. But that little golf swing rail that he has built around him is the coolest looking thing.
To that.
You know, because like
I'd say instead of like a chop, it maybe a better word would be like a slice, like you're slicing out into the air rather than chopping down.
Yeah.
But
that would probably, all right. So that's the cue.
What's that?
So that's the cue. We're working that right side in that low point this year, and that's what has. I've always found it weird. I don't know if you've seen this. Being in the games for 3 years, what I've seen is you end up working a cue, like you're working the right side, and it's that whole. I forget the actual name. Jerry loves the videos. The contrarian method. You know, there's an opposite side to everything, and what you'll see is a lot of people will work that side of their hammer for a year or two and get to a number, and then they plateau, and then they go, all right, well, now I'm going to start working the lift side, and then they just flip back and forth, and like that tends to be how a lot of people in throwing end up making progress. You know, you're hammering that one cue until that becomes the norm, and then because your body can only do but so much, you go, oh shit, now I need to actually start working that opposite side of the throw. You know?
Yeah. And sometimes it depends on the event, depends on the person. Sometimes you hammer one cue and your body reacts, like you're saying on the other side, your body reacts completely like non-helpful. But other times you get lucky, like you work on one cue and all of a sudden the other half of your body responds correctly and things are working synchronously. But it's that's the tricky thing about there being 9 events.
Yeah, so I think that kind of covers 2 of the main questions that were about the mechanics of hammer that people had asked. So we had a few other people throw in some good questions and then someone just being sassy. So we can address the sassier one right out of the gate. And he says, save ladies for the rest of us. I think the ladies are safe. We can go ahead and rule that out.
Ladies are safe. I got mine's in her office right now.
Exactly. So I didn't want him to feel left out, but I wanted to give Rose her moment and say that I think we're okay.
She might not be at every games, but she'll be in a couple of them.
She's there. So let's see. Staying on the topic of hammer, why not 4-turn the hammer? LOL. I'm hoping this isn't but so serious of a question, but I know every once in a while people just start adding wines and doing
Yeah.
craziness.
I
I'll let you do it. I don't have a 150-foot hammer. I feel like I could answer the question, but they're going to listen
I
more if it
mean,
comes
to
from
answer
you.
the question
So,
simply, in my head, I do 4 turns.
yeah,
I think about it as lifting it off the ground. That's 1. And then coming into the orbit, 2. And then I add power in the 3rd. And then the 4th is the release.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's always one of those things. If I think about it too long, I start over counting my wines in my head instead of just
I
doing what
know.
feels right.
I ran into the same thing, like
Yeah,
early,
yeah. Everyone
early
does.
trying
I
to.
think at a certain point, you're like, wait, is that sort of getting it off the ground? Is that a turn, or is that the
Yeah,
one where I release? Is that a turn? But then will watch someone do 4 entire turns plus all
yeah,
that other stuff, and you're like, oh, that was way too much.
yeah. I
Um,
finally
and
just like decided, you know what? What I do is 4 turns to me, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
yeah, yeah. If someone out there disagrees with the way you count turns, the answer is because if you're throwing hammer violently, you can't control like with so many. Like at a certain
Yeah,
point, what are you doing, man? If you somehow have the balance to just sit there and turn all day,
or the
something's
cardio.
wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. It's a great drill, but is it the best way to throw a hammer? No. But so let's see. And then 2 people were asking about the hammer world record. Is that something that is on your mind? Is that a potential goal of this year, or are we just taking it in stride?
It is not on my mind this year, actually. So, if I find, if I end up on a really nice field on a nice day and I'm feeling good at the point of the day we're throwing hammers and they're nice hammers, it's going to be something in the back of my mind. But
Mm-hmm.
in terms of training and outlook on competitions, no.
Yeah. So
I'm
the goal of
focused.
2026 is not to set a light hammer world record.
No, the goal of 2026 is, well, I guess, should that lead us into 2026 goals?
Yeah, yeah, that's what the only other question I had was about post game recovery, and we can save that because I did want to say, hey, what do we have in store for 2026? So we only have
Mhm.
one question left. We can save that for the end.
Cool.
Yeah, what are we doing this year?
2026 goal, probably number 1 is winning Celtic national
Mm-hmm.
championship. I want to be a national champion. And goal number 2 sort of makes sense, sort of doesn't, was to get an invite to Worlds, which
Okay. Which
was,
worlds?
sort of out of, oh, sort of out of my hands. But
Mm-hmm.
also, when you throw a 120 and 150 hammers, you get some people's attention.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a good segue into, hey, I got invited to Worlds.
Nice. Did that invite occur at Central Carolina?
A couple days after I got the email.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Because I think that
I
same person that
was
probably invited you, I walked up to him and said hello, and he just stared at me and then walked off. And I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
No, I was glad to have finally met Bill Crawford at Central Carolina, and then yeah, shortly after I got one of the ones invited to the World Championship in Pleasanton. I'm super excited. I was last year Nationals was my uh, big goal, and then this year
Mm-hmm.
being Worlds, and I'm excited to have both of those on my plate this year, as well
Awesome.
as the Celtic Strength World Championship with Josh. Um, I got invited to Grandfather Mountain um, in July, which I'm very excited
Okay.
for. And then um, mid-September's up in the air. I have my eyes on Woodridge, and still waiting to commit to that. If that doesn't offend you too horribly.
No.
Um,
Look, man, I understand that I am not the biggest fish in the pond as far as pro games go. That is not the goal of that game. So
yeah.
I'm happy in my
Well,
lane.
yeah, you're doing a great job with bringing up the amateur class and promoting high level athletics.
Yeah. So then, and also you'll be judging for us at Battlefield, right? Is that still on
Yes,
the? Yeah. So
July
if people want to run
25th.
into you, yep.
Hmm. And
So we'll
then
have you up there.
yep, and then Radford in October
Cool.
with
Yeah, I missed Radford
John.
last year, so I'll be hopefully getting back to that one because
Yeah,
it's a
Radford
fun
was
game.
yeah, it was fun. It was an awesome venue. It being at a college town, the college campus. Um, and John and the city there with Radford are working on making it, bigger and better.
Awesome. Had you ever thrown? Speaking of John now being an AD more often,
Mhm.
had you ever thrown Loch Norman before, or was this your first time at Loch?
This was my first time.
What was your experience then as a pro throwing his first time at Loch Norman?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, simply put, I mean, I got there Friday afternoon. John was nice enough to they do like a sponsor dinner the night before, and John got the go ahead to invite the athletes this year, the pro athletes. Um, so we got to go check out the sponsor dinner, hang out, kind of mingle with the people who are running the show, which was really nice. They got a great guy, James something, blanking on his last name, but
That's
he's
fine.
running the show down there. And then yeah, Saturday I camped out across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, we got started Saturday. It was a great experience. We had Buck on the main stage, and then Adam Sizemore on the mic following us
Mm-hmm.
around. They were great commentators all day. We had Travis Haddock judging, kept us rolling through the whole day. They treated us well. They had supplied snacks and stuff. They gave us money for lunch. Payouts at the end of the day were pretty nice. Yeah, it's a great experience. I mean, and pretty good
Awesome.
group to throw with down there.
Good. Yeah. The I think we've both been on team camp everywhere we go this year so
Yeah,
far, which is and
yeah.
I'm having a blast.
I mean,
Um,
hey, if I'm driving, the chances of camping are pretty high.
right. So no more moldy shower bathrooms in some random motel. You know,
Oof, no.
it's
Yeah, no thanks.
yeah, hard pass. So let's see what else. All right, I think we've covered all that stuff. So one of the other questions that someone did have, which I think you're a great person to ask on this, was
Hmm.
tips for post game recovery to help you bounce back quick. Because you're definitely one of those people that I see throw a game and then post training footage within 48 hours. You know. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
is there anything you think you're doing differently or better, or just a way to impart some amount of knowledge
Mhm.
out into the world as far as that goes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about, different or better, but I think the way I train as a whole lends to being able to recover
Yeah.
well. So, I mean, I've through the off season and going through the season now, just at varying volume, I follow gym 3 days a week, throw 3 days a week.
Hmm.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm in the gym. I do a full body session, whatever it may be. And then Tuesday, Thursday, most weeks Saturday, I'll be throwing.
Hmm.
And I never really crush myself in the gym. It's all kind of managing that intensity so that I
Hmm.
can still recover fully in order to be able to throw the next day to work out 2 days after that. Um, And a lot of things, I think doing the full body lifts lend to that as well, because you can't really hammer, even if you're there an hour and a half, 2 hours, you still can't hammer anything so hard that you're not going to recover in the next 48 hours. And then game weeks, I always take Thursday, Friday off before a game, and then Sunday off afterwards, and then back in the gym on Monday. Usually it's just my core after a game that's kind of torqued up just because of the hammers.
Yeah.
Everything else is just kind of wear and tear. So
I
I'll
had
get back
forgotten
in.
how much of a toll that took on your core because
Yeah.
Sedalia didn't have hammers. And so throwing hammers at Carolina, I came home and every time I laughed on either Sunday or Monday, I was like, oh no, I have to stop because this this hurts.
Yeah, I'll wait to hammer the core until Wednesday after a game, because that's usually the only thing that's really taking a hit. Everything else is just kind of wear and tear that you just jump back into the gym and again, don't kill yourself, but
Mhm.
just manage the volume to where your body's at.
Yeah. And do you think that's something that is a skill you've acquired just from having a long training history? Just kind of being able
Absolutely.
to, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause that was going
It's
to
a
be my
long
point. I would just argue your GPP is probably a touch higher than average, you know?
Yeah, it's a long history of designing my own programs and workouts, and also working with a lot of different strength coaches through the years. The last, since I was 15 or whatever and got into the gym, I've probably worked with 6 or 7 strength coaches through the years and got super lucky. Through high school, I had great strength coaches, and then um, going into like my own personal athletic ventures, I've found some good guys to work with.
Good. All right. Well, Bud, this has been only half an hour, but we have touched on everything I wanted to touch on. So, I mean, this is kind of one of those times where I say, hey, man, we can call it, or if there's something that's on your mind, if there's stuff going on in the community that you want to chat about, anything you think needs more light, less light.
What about you been to Grandfather?
I have. Yeah. I went last
What
year for the first time.
what can you tell me about Grandfather to
Um, I
as a first year competitor now?
so I think one of the tricky things about answering that question is what I have heard is that they treat the pros and the AMs very differently.
Oh,
So I would say that my experience at Grandfather, well, no, here, look, let me be politically right here and not be rude because that's what I do.
yeah, of course.
I'm not signing back up to go to Grandfather again this year.
Hmm.
I went, I saw it, and cool. I'm probably not gonna head back. Now, if some other people start ADing it and things like that, maybe. Um, I the way I prefer to hang out at games and the way I like for them to be run just isn't the way that they like for it to run.
Hmm.
Like we got a whole long speech at the beginning of the day about our Braemar stone's a son of a bitch and we're going to foul you and you can't throw it and it's super heavy and no one ever throws it far. Okay, that's dumb.
How heavy
You're,
is that Braemar? Was it
I don't remember.
25?
To be fair, if it was their Braemar or their Open, one of their stones is significantly heavier than it needs to be.
Hmm.
I want to say it may have even been their Open. And it's just hard to get a hold of. It's known for being a tough stone,
Hmm.
and they have come to a point of pride in that. Which, to a degree, I understand the mentality, but from a standpoint of, do I, as a non-professional thrower, want to
Yeah.
pay money out of my pocket and take time out of my weekend to go somewhere and throw a game that I know does not design implements for me to throw well? No.
Yeah,
No,
it's a
and
tough
like
sell.
and it the whole thing about we're going to foul you and we're going to do this, that, and the other, and it's just it feels like they're taking enjoyment in different parts of the game than what I do.
Mm-hmm.
If that gives them some sense of they think they're in the right or they're doing something better, quote unquote, cool. I don't agree with it, so I'm just not going to spend my time and money traveling down there and being there. And
Okay,
like
bad games to bring up. That was
oh no, we can talk about it all day long. Look, I'm not going back. I don't give a damn. Like there was rain in the forecast and our sheaf bag was sitting out.
Yeah.
So all of our guys were talking about it. I was like, I'll go ask him. And I went and asked our judge. I was like, hey, there's rain. There's a 40-foot long athlete tent over there. Can we just throw the sheaf bag under there? Oh, okay, cool. Sheaf bag got rained on. One dude broke his fork. Half the people bombed out. Like it was just, it was just little things that I felt could have been done a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I do hear on the positive side, to be fair, I think the crowd on the day the pros throw is supposed to be really cool. And the field setup is really cool. They've got a really elevated setup for the crowd that's pretty close to the field. And it is a cool looking venue. Like, I think it's got some things going for it. There's a reason that it's been going on for a millennia or however long they advertise it is running for, Like, there are draws to grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
I just, from my side of things, that's just not worth my time and effort and fatigue to go down there.
What else do you have? What do you have for Woodridge? Anything different planned this year in terms of the athletics?
Yes. So Woodridge, we are going to intermingle. I may have talked about this on Instagram a little bit, but we're intermingling the pros into the Blue Ridge Championship group. So I gave it some thought about what do I want the game to be? What am I trying to accomplish, right? How does it make the sport better? How is it not just another game? And like what is it adding? So I wanted it to, I've decided right now, this could all change year to year. It's my game. I can do what I want. But I want it to be a objective for high-level amateurs who are on the path to go pro. I want them to want to train for this game. I want them to want to be there and to do well. And so what I want to do is intermingle the pro class with them, not require my pros to, I don't even care if you take 3 throws in every event. But I want the AMs to watch you. I want the AMs to have a chance to talk to you, to not be separate on the field where you're way over there and they're way over here. I want them to have a day like big brother, big sister moments. I want to break down that wall of conversation so that they can talk to the pros to figure out how they went pro, what numbers were they looking for, what amount of travel were they looking for, or even just in their throws, like just having people there that are better than you around you when you're throwing to just offer help and to try and push them to be better. So that's what I'm asking of the pros this year is show up. I don't necessarily want you to, not that I don't want you to, I'd love it if everyone there threw a world record and PRs and that would be great. But that's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do is show up and be a good representative of our sport. Yeah. To that next generation of people that will be coming up.
So how many guys are you, what are your splits of
probably a smaller
numbers?
Group of pros than last year. Cause I mean, last year, we had like,
it was like 12 last year, I think. Yeah,
12 or 13 pros, which was a pretty big class. So splitting that up to maybe 4 or 5 men, 4 or 5 women, and then intermingling them. In the Blue Ridge Champion group, I'll invite, I think, 16. Now, I also fully recognize that not all 16 will show up. Some states don't even have an active man or an active woman or whatever in that state as of yet. So realistically, I'm looking to have a flight of about 15 to 17 on either side. But those are going to be my only 2 flights running on Saturday. Or no, sorry, the AM women will also be doing their thing. So, but 3 flights, 2 of them being kind of large. But again, I'm not asking the pros to clog up the works. I don't need you to take, if you've already thrown a 58-foot open stone that year and your shoulder's hurting, cool. Do one to show them how you like to approach the trig, and then go sit down, man. Scratch your 2 other throws. I don't care. You're not hurting my feelings as an AD. I am no longer paying the pros solely as entertainment. I am paying you as an addition to what I'm trying to build for the sport.
Yeah.
Like,
interesting.
What I found out last year is that some of these guys, I mean, Rhett maxed out the sheaf standards. Him and Chandler are going back and forth. Like,
Yeah.
the AMs I'm bringing in are entertaining enough. If I'm on the microphone and doing my job, I have the entertainment box checked. I'm good, you know. Like, so I'm not as worried about paying the pros to solely be entertainment. I want them to be there to.
It's more like a pro showcase.
Yeah, it can still be a competition on paper, and I mean, it still will be. Your scores are still going to go in. There will still be 3 or more of you. There is still clans, bagpipes, and heavy athletics. So, like, if you're one of these guys that only gets a couple pro games a year and you want to be able to get good numbers in, by all means, come throw all 9 and go balls to the wall all day. But, like, talking with John and Wes next year, like, John usually has the Celtic the following weekend. John is not as young as he once was and wants to save his energy for the following weekend. Cool. But John Harding is also a great example, and I don't want him to not show up and not talk to these new guys and not, you know, get to know them.
Yeah.
So how do I keep guys like that coming back, but not worrying about, oh, I've got a nagging hip issue that I'm trying to rehab? Cool. Lob your throws out there. It's not a day for PRs for you. That's cool. I understand it. That's insanely reasonable, you know?
Yeah.
And at the pro level, most of those guys also, if you're just lobbing them out there, aren't going to get butt hurt if some other guy, like let's say Jan Bartolome, doesn't get as many invites as some of the other guys get. If he just wants to come out there and throw all 9 events balls to the wall so that he can get good numbers in to try and get in somewhere else, also do that, man. I'm trying to find a way for everyone to have their cake and eat it too, you know? Might work, might not. I don't know. But I'm going to try it.
Interesting. I mean, at least it'll be good for the AMs.
Yeah, and look, the pros are still going to get paid. You're still going to have a place to stay. You're still going to get to come out and do the sport that you want to do. And if 3 or 4 of y'all start chirping back and really want to start going at it, I'm not going to stop you. I'm just letting you know that my expectations are not stellar throws from them that day. I don't need you to do that. Put on a show for the crowd, sure, when you get the opportunity to, but talk to the AMs. Be there for them. That's what I want to kind of build that game up to be right now. In 5 years, will that change direction? You know, once that Blue Ridge Championship is well established and is drawing in the right people? Yeah, maybe. Sure. If I'm lucky, maybe it'll happen in a couple years, you know? So, we'll see.
Well, good.
But, so, yeah, that's where that is. And, I mean, it's still at a dope venue in a cool place at a cool time of year, you know? Still a 2-day game with tons of stuff going on. So, I think it'll work out.
I think it will too. I mean, hell, this will be 3rd year?
Yeah, 3rd year.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. 3rd year for Woodridge, and then we've got the Battlefield game will be in July. For anyone that's interested in signing up in that one, that is really, it's going to go in as a backyarder. I'm not being able to collect the Celtic box because I don't know if they're going to get all the quote unquote necessities to be out there, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it's also a cool venue with great food and like cool people. And we're just really lucky that region already has a crap load of throwers. Like Northern Virginia just is a little hub anyway. So
yeah, I mean, we need more Virginia games.
Yeah, we need more games everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we are outpacing other states by a lot, and I mean, still have room to grow if it was up to me. So,
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to June. the Celtic Strength World Championship.
Yeah, because I missed home games last year. I had been the
So
year
you going
before
this
that.
year?
Yeah, I'll be up there.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I will see you there. And then looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to Whitstock. That'll be fun. That's
Yeah,
always a good
that'll
time.
be good.
So
Yeah.
also because I can wake up in my own house and just drive 20 minutes and be there. It's awesome.
Yeah. Only time you can. Yeah, really looking forward to throwing with Berger for the first time.
Yeah.
Aaron Castle's coming, Ponzio, and then what is it? I think Peter Cars, and I'm blanking
Yeah,
on
'cause he's
who
got
else.
his registration on Iron Podium, right? Let's see.
Does he?
Yeah, so that's where he was running signups. I don't know if he's still going to put the info into heavy is my estimate. But let's see. Let's go to Iron Podium. Let's see if he's put y'all in there or not. Because I know I had to sign up via Iron Podium.
Yeah.
For it. Find an event. What is that? The 12th or something like that? 16th?
13th.
13th. I was dancing around it. God, there's so many strongman shows. Jesus Christ. And all of them use goofy looking AI animals for their. Well, that one's got John Rambo. See, this is how many games we should have.
Oh, yeah, as many as there are strongman comps. Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, June 666. 13th. Power in the Pines, Minnesota Strongman. So there's the Team Highlander competition by No Fame. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for not the Cheyenne, Bison, Celtic, whatever. Where the heck is it? I know I did my signing up on Iron Podium. Idaho, Sinister. Maybe he just changed the name of it. Let me click on this. Oh no, because that registration is $200. I didn't pay that. That's not what that is. All right, he had done it on there. I could find it if it mattered. Let's go to No Fame's website.
Yeah.
Let's just watch everyone watch me try.
I don't think it's on No Fame. Yeah.
No, but I know he linked it out to there because that was how I found it. Because I was like, oh, when is Josh's games this year?
Yeah, well, if anybody's still listening, they're bored enough to keep listening.
But yeah, if they're here, they're here. All right, let's see.
And thank you for being here.
Yeah, and we appreciate you, random citizen. Now, why can't I hyperlink out, Josh? That's goofy. Boo. All right, well, I can see it. It's right there. I don't know who's going to be there. We tried.
Yeah,
we did everything we could. They all saw it. I could look on, heavyathlete.com.
Spencer Tyler. That's who else.
Oh, yeah, Spencer's going to be there. I'm trying to get him on the podcast soon. If I say it out loud on here, maybe he'll feel the pressure and actually. I just know he's just been he's just been busy with the kids and everything lately that he's been, kind of yanked around. It's been hard getting our schedules to line up.
Yeah. Not everybody is childless like myself.
Yeah, well, and I am with child, but he's old enough he's just over there doing stuff.
Old enough to occupy himself.
Exactly. I can ignore him for periods of time. It's pretty great. Other than the dog laying on my feet, I'm relatively unbothered. So
I can't remember if Scott Farr's coming to No Fame. He was there
I would look
year.
it up, but Josh hasn't put it anywhere. Josh,
I look in my last year.
Josh, I never look in my actual camera. I was talking to Josh and telling him to put shit places people can see it. But all right. Well, yeah, buddy. You got anything else for me? Is there any drama in the games that we want to talk about? Is there any? Do we want to talk about steroids or like what? Oh,
don't know much.
Good answer. No.
No,
All
I
right.
got episode of Smoking and Throwing coming tomorrow or the next day. I just filmed it today. I got a couple of
Oh, nice.
racks of ribs on the green egg right now that
Man.
will be ready in half an hour.
Good man. What's your preferred fuel method? We'll shift this whole podcast over. Do
Oh,
you do
yeah.
do you do chunks? Are you doing briquettes? Are you doing wood? What are we what
Lump,
are we
lump charcoal all the way.
what's your brand preference? Are you a cowboy man or what are you going with?
I got no, bro. I get something different every time. I feel like red oak's always good because it just looks nice, clean. It's just a nice big red bag. But I go with those and then the tumbleweed fire starters every time.
Those are the way to go,
They're the
without a
best.
doubt.
But yeah, sometimes I'll throw a little hickory chunk in there or some post oak. But that's if I'm feeling fancy, you know.
Yeah, I was looking at my smoker in the garage unit today, and I was like, I gotta put that somewhere that I can use it because I can't do it on my little balcony in the apartment now.
Yeah,
I miss it, so it'll be going somewhere soon. I'll put it out there.
I got lucky, man. Rose, while I was on deployment, Rose, she whipped up a table for the green egg. So it sits in, and it's handmade. I was surprised as all hell.
Wow, how is that working
The
heat shield wise? Is it wood or
It's wood, yeah.
have you
It's
had any
not it
issues with the egg getting too hot, or is it spaced out enough?
it's spaced out enough. There's a little
Okay.
gap, yeah, between the
I was
wood
gonna say
and
I've
the
seen
egg.
that a lot of people have made them, and they really. I mean, you don't need more than like an inch
Mm-mm.
gap all the way around it, and you're fine.
Yeah.
You know, the way the
Um,
heat bleeds off that ceramic.
yeah.
Yeah, we can
So we
just
got
switch this
that.
over. You can take me over to the ribs. We can just really
Dude,
change this whole.
they're wrapped up right now. But
Oh,
I
okay. Are
will
you
strap
finishing them
this.
now? Now, did you wrap in butcher paper or foil?
No, I'm not that classy. Just aluminum foil.
All
But
right. All right.
I will show you. We got the fresh new patio almost
Yeah.
complete. But green egg table
Yeah.
with the patio and chairs.
Look at that.
Yeah, the
Heck yeah,
table's
brother.
sick. What do we got? We're at 260 on the temperature gauge. So
Hey,
we're perfect.
great way to finish pork. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so I did 2 hours with it just open face and then wrapped it up and hitting it with another 2 hours.
yeah. Are you missing any sort of apple juice, or are you basting in any way? Are you?
No, I didn't. I went and through while they were on initially and just had Rose checking the temperature. So
Yeah.
no basting. When I do pulled pork though, we'll have a little fun with that. Last time I threw a little apple cider vinegar
Mm-hmm.
and just because it was in the fridge, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done that with the sodas. I
Yeah.
know
It'll put you a nice little crust on there.
one time I think I did like ginger ale something
Oh,
recipe.
I've never gone with the lighter sodas. It's always been darker.
Yeah, there's tons of those kind of recipes, but pulled pork's ones, yeah, you can do a lot of experimenting with.
Yeah. If you cook it long enough, you can't. It's hard to mess up a Boston butt.
Yeah,
Like
if you're patient enough, yeah,
yeah. If we can get that fat to just start falling apart, you're gonna be fine.
yeah,
But
that
God,
would
this
taste
dog is
good.
ripping
Everyone's
ass.
gonna like it.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, 100%. This used to be all me and Aaron George would talk about all season long was just smoking and throwing. That was all we would do. Now, what's your preferred method? How are you checking temp on the meat as it goes? Are you a meter guy or what? What's your setup?
yeah. I mean, with the green egg, it's all manual, so you
Well, I
gotta
mean
have
your
somebody.
internal temp on the meat. How are we?
Oh, on the meat. No, that's all feel.
Yeah.
I always say you just people always ask me that and I don't know what to say, so I just say you gotta just wait for it to holler.
Oh God. See, I got a
Once it starts
forever
hollering.
ago. Yeah. I got the well, because I also did a lot of briskets, which briskets are picky. Like pork
Yeah.
is nice. You can hit a wide range of pork. You got an easy 10 degrees, where you can't mess things up.
Yeah.
But man, trying to you get too early or too late on a brisket, and you can just muck that hole. So I loved having my little Weber iGrill that I could just plug in there and just throw
Yeah,
it in
you
there, check it
definitely
on my
need
phone.
definitely need a thermometer on brisket, but yeah, I've only done like 2 briskets ever. I've never bought my own brisket.
They're so
But
good. Go up to Costco, get them to pull you one out fresh and wrap it up.
yeah, it does sound nice, but not affordable.
It is pricey, but I talk myself into it because they only need salt, pepper, garlic. That's all you got to season a brisket with. You can Texas rub a brisket all day long. So, you'd be wasting money not to get one at that point. And you're going to eat it all because it's going to be delicious.
Good guy
So,
logic. It's
yeah,
good.
does it cost you $65 to buy it? Yeah, but it's worth it.
Yeah. It's but yeah, I've done enough. I've done enough pork butts, done enough steaks, done enough chicken, done enough ribs to where I know the general timelines and I know the feel of the meat and
Are
what
you
it needs to look like.
now when you're doing your Boston butts for pulled pork, are you bone in or bone out?
I prefer bone in, but I'll do
Yeah.
what they got. Yeah.
Well, the bone in is just great because the second that bone just slips out, you're done.
Yeah.
Talk about
And
throwing your own thermometer. If you go in there and it just
yeah, and it's fun to pull it out at the end.
it always. Well, that's a great way to send this off. Glad we were able to bring it home. Yeah, buddy. I will. I'm going to hit stop.